So this is a video response to a thread which is going around at the moment, started by the Vinyl Narrative. That's Cam. I will leave a link to his channel down below. Records that you wouldn't sell. Show 5 records that you wouldn't sell. I thought this is quite an interesting idea. I have actually just sold about 80 records, and that's quite rare for me. So this is quite a timely idea for a thread, really, and I've seen quite a few interesting responses. So I thought, yeah, let's give this a try. I mean, there's loads of different ways of interpreting this. I've seen people doing it, you know, showing their favourite records of all time, grails, you know, this, that and the other. And I suppose, you know, you could recast this as which 5 records would you grab if the house was burning down, and your 5 favourite albums of all time. There's different ways of looking at it. So I've tried to mix and match a little bit. So let's go through and see what we've got. So the first one is Cargo by Men at Work, and this for me is a sentimental pick. I am quite a sentimental person. I watched Vinyl Richie's response last night, and he was saying that he's got less and less time for that as he gets older. He now sees records as objects, which they are really. This one, I'm not particularly attached to the copy as such. I could probably quite happily sell this and replace it at some point down the line, but the actual record itself, Cargo by Men at Work, will always be in my collection. For the simple reason that when I was a boy, when I was about 10 years old, my cousin Paul came to stay from Scotland, and I worshipped Paul. He was kind of 14 when I was 10. And we took him to town, and we went to the record shop in Wrexham, and he picked this record up, brought it back, and we listened to it on my record player in my room, and I just got such great memories of it. I do really love the song Overkill. I think that's one of my favourite songs of the 80s, but I love the cover as well. It's just got this lovely kind of day glow, happy quality to it, and it's one of those records that just always cheers me up when I go past it on the shelf. I always just get a little warm feeling comes up. So that's what records are for, really, aren't they? You know, I don't necessarily agree with this thing that they're just objects. I mean, yes, they are just objects, but they're objects that bring such pleasure and joy. So I'll have that one as my first one. I'm going through these chronologically, I think. I was about 10, I think, when I heard that one. This next one, Power Age by AC/DC, I was a little bit older. This has still got a big crease down the side where I took it into school, crammed it into my school bag and took it in, you know, to impress my mates. And I used to carry this record around with me wherever I went. I used to take it to my grandmother's house, even though she had no record player. I just used to obsess about the cover, the picture, you know, and the song titles. I was really taken with it, and I suppose it did, it changed my musical outlook in a way at that point. I was sort of 11 going on 12, starting to get into heavier music, and this record really rewired my brain musically. You know, these great tracks like Riff Raff and Down Payment Blues, never quite heard anything like it really. The guitar tone, just the nastiness of the music, and Bon Scott's amazing delivery was just something totally new to me at the time, and yeah, it had a seismic impact on me. I would not sell this copy. I do have an upgrade copy now, but this one has stayed in my collection. I just loved the crease on the cover where it went into my school bag. So I'm very attached to that one. So there we go, Power Age. And this next one, many years later. So this was in the mid-90s when I was, I would have been in my mid-20s. I picked this one up from Cobb Records, which is a record shop in North Wales. This is Low by David Bowie. I was on holiday in a place called Portmaddock, staying there with some friends of mine in a kind of quite a large static caravan. It was a really fun holiday. We had a great time. On this one day in particular, we'd all been into town, and we went to Cobb Records, and we all bought stuff. We came back to the caravan. There was a crappy record player in the caravan, and I think it was raining that afternoon, and we all sat and played Scrabble, and we listened to the records that we'd been buying on this crappy record player. And I put this on, and none of us had heard it at this point. We were all new to it. You know, when we kicked off side 2 with the great run of instrumentals, starting with Warzower, it was so kind of doomy and strange and weird, and we all started sort of looking over at the record player almost like, what the hell is this? And we gradually became aware that we were in the presence of greatness just while playing Scrabble. So for that reason, this copy of the record always holds a place in my heart, really. There's other Bowie records that I bought around about this same time. You know, like I bought a copy of Heroes around about the same time from the Oxfam shop in Headingley, but I don't really have any particular associations with that particular copy. So if I was to sell that, I wouldn't really think anything of it. Whereas this will always stay in my collection because it just happened to be that copy that we all that we all experienced when we were playing Scrabble that day. So just crazy little memories like that, really, which I'm so vulnerable to, that nostalgia thing. The final two are probably more just really great records, which are quite hard to find in the wild. This first one, War in a Babylon by Max Romeo and the Upsetters, which I had on CD already. I bought this on CD in the early noughties. Really great album, Lee Scratch Perry production. I found this in a sort of a bookshop, really, Atticus Books here in Lancaster, it's a kind of bookshop, also a bit of a junk shop as well, and most of the stock he carries is quite cheap and quite ordinary, really. When I was picking my way through this box of records and this one jumped out at me, I didn't have my cash card on me that day for some reason. All I had was cash, and I think he was selling it for something like £20 or something like that, which I thought was a real bargain given how hard this record is to find. I mean, you're going to be paying up to £100 for this if you look on Discogs or eBay or whatever. And I think I had something like £15 on me or something, and that's all I had. So I said to him, this is what I've got, will you accept it? And he did. And it just absolutely made my day because it is a really great record. It's got a couple of absolute classics on here. Uptown Babies is my favourite track on here. Norman, at the start of side 2, great track. War in a Babylon, the title track itself, co-written by Lee Scratch Perry. So you get these records where there's such great discoveries, or you find them and they just make your day, and for that reason you think to yourself, yeah, I'm probably never going to get rid of that. That's probably always going to be there in the collection. So that's that one. And then this one again, beautiful copy of this. I'm just looking at it now. It's a really, really lovely, pristine copy of Bless the Weather by John Martin, which I found on the street market here in Lancaster now, probably going back at least, probably about 10 years now. And this is one that I had on CD, and it's one of John's more difficult ones to find. Again, if you look on Discogs now, you can be paying up to £50 for a copy of this in really good condition. I got this one for £20, and I think it possibly is my favourite John Martin album. It's one of his more acousticy ones. It's got Walk to the Water on it, which is one of his classics, Go Easy, Bless the Weather, and his totally charming version of Singing in the Rain at the end of side 2. As I said, I had it on CD anyway, but I was not going to leave that behind when I saw it, and a great favourite of mine, and definitely one that I'm not going to sell as long as there is air in my lungs to breathe. So there we go, that's my 5. Hope you enjoyed it. There's quite a few responses to this doing the rounds, so hopefully you'll be able to catch some more. So thanks to Cam at The Vinyl Narrative, great idea, and thanks for watching. I'll be back soon. Take care. Bye for now.